Hi guys and girls, welcome back to my channel. I do hope you're doing well. I have got my little spooky cuddly friend here with us for this video because, as you can tell by the title, guys, it is all about scandals with Shan. And you might be thinking, looking at the title, I don't know about you guys, but all I can see in the papers, well, I say papers, I look at Daily Mail online. All I see online is everything about AI. Everything is AI now. Oh my goodness, and I just kicked you. I do apologise. I didn't mean to do that. You went doing. Oh goodness gracious, let's start again. Everything I see is about like AI. If you've got Snapchat, you know Snapchat is a big app where AIs have come in. Robots are on the move. Robots are going to take over the world. Robots are going to take away jobs. I mean, we already see it with the self-serve checkouts. My Tesco's, there is like hardly any checkouts of people right now. Everything is self-serve, self-scan, and I mean, this is the time where I think, like, goodness gracious, my Nana G wasn't alive, because she would absolutely have a nightmare. She would not be able to cope with it. But I thought, you know what? We've got a little candle lit, which smells divine. This is the big candle from TK Maxx or HomeSense last year, Martha Stewart, and I thought, you know what? It goes great on here. We've got a little trick or treat. We have our boo, and we have our little glitter pumpkin array, and then we have this guy. So guys, let's not ribbit rabbit, because we've got a few little things. You guys have actually sent quite a good little selection in, so as I say, thank you very much for that. And if you do want to get involved in any of like the scandals with Shan, the sit down with Shans, Q&A mukbangs, confessions, anything like that, they're always on my Instagrams, which are down below. Once a month, I will always do all of my stories and be like, guys, get involved. If it doesn't fit in the little tiny text box, send me a DM. Or if you want to maybe have a chit chat, or you don't want to post anything, comments on YouTube, or you don't have Instagram, I do have an email as well. Just drop your name with, sometimes I'll ask for a photo because I like to put a face to the name, and then what I'll do is I'll add you to my contact list, and then whenever I do a big story, if you want to get involved, you can send your questions in and everything remains anonymous. But I still haven't got a name for you yet. I just call it spooky. Shall we get into this month's Scandals with Shan, which is all about AIs and robots? Ooh. Now, I've got to really be careful not to singe my hair, because I have actually just come out of the bath. I know, washed hair. It's in a plait. We always know, oh my goodness gracious, I was playing with fire. Mama G plaited it, but my partner does actually plait hair as well. So, that's a good one as well. Guys, so I asked you over on Instagram, and as I say, emails, and it was all to do with AI, robotics, or augmented realities, because a lot of things as well that I'm seeing is all this like VR headsets and everything. It's like putting you in a different dimension or in another universe, just like things are happening, okay? So one of my lovelies sends in AI robots. I would first say, after watching Tim on Netflix, robots is not a good idea in all reasons, but mainly safety with your private information. Robots should be used inside computers where they belong. We do not need them at tills or other places of work taking people's jobs, and we have survived this long without them. Yes, we must move with the times, but robots are not needed, only in games or computers. They do not belong in everyday life. Keep it in the gaming world. I would also ask you to watch TIM Netflix and decide yourself. Hope you and Mama G are both well. Thank you very much, my lovely. I'm actually going to look for this Tim, because I haven't heard of this on Netflix, and it does intrigue me. Like, everything to do with AI and everything, I'm very skeptical. Like, I never done the Snapchat. Like, I don't interact with my AI Snapchat, because I've seen TikToks and I've seen stories, and I just think it's weird, and I don't want to start delving into something, as you say, like, who knows with private information what is happening. And I just don't really feel comfortable in like talking. It's gonna sound, this is so hypocritical, I don't feel comfortable talking to a screen. I know that's what I'm doing now, but I take this footage, I put it in my laptop, I export it, I am in control of this. Talking to someone behind a screen, I think, where are they getting their information from? Is it just randomly generated? But the stuff is so true and realistic for it to not be generated, if you know what I mean. So I think like that's kind of an area I don't want to delve in right now. I completely agree with you regarding the tills. I think by putting in all these self-serve, it is going to kill the high street. And I also think it's going to kill the supermarkets. I think a lot more people will opt for online shopping, online deliveries. I don't want to badmouth the store because I really do love it. But if you're a regular here, you will know there is a store, and my biggest pet peeve is that it's self-service checkout. And it annoys me because I really, really do love this store, but I don't, if I wanted to self-serve myself, I would just do it online, and then I wouldn't have to scan everything. I wouldn't have to put it all away. I could just click, 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 add it to my basket and get it delivered. I wouldn't have to pack it. I wouldn't have to struggle like to the car or like getting all the tags out and getting the security tags. Like, it's not just the case of scanning it yourself. It's like you have to take your tags off and everything. And I just think, no, like that is why there are retail jobs. And I do think it is taking jobs away from people, because it's like, oh yeah, well, you can just self-serve it. But also then what happens for the elderly who don't know how to use self-serve? You still need to have staff on hand to be able to help them with this. It's not a case of, well, that's the way and it's got to go with that. No, 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 no. As they say, this has been going on for generations. We have lived without these self-serve checkouts for generations and decades upon decades. I understand it's great if you want like a quick in bash bash bosh done. However, the self-serve queues are sometimes longer than the queues for the people. If I am on my lunch or we pop into a supermarket, you will never catch me at a self-service, because number one, I don't know about you guys, I get so frustrated because it will always say place item in the bagging area or unexpected item in the bagging area. Please wait for assistance. Beep. Oh my god. And by the time you're faffing around, I might as well have just gone to the lady or the man and wait for them to scan my shopping. So yeah, I'm not a fan of self-service. Like, if you're in a hurry and there's no queue and everything goes swimmingly, great. I can't say that I've had a self-serve checkout experience where it hasn't gone wrong. The worst one, I tell you, oh my goodness, I was in Lidl. And if you've ever done Lidl self-service checkout, they expect you to be faster than the cashiers. You have to beep, beep, and the weigh-in. And oh my goodness, I got so annoyed because we went to do a food shop in our lunch break and they had one checkout open out of 6. So obviously everyone was queuing for the self-serve, and we kept getting these errors in, and I was like, you know, like when you're really trying, like, stay calm, stay calm. And one of the workers come over and was like, these aren't designed to have this much shopping. And I just turned around and I was like, well, maybe if you had more cashiers, I wouldn't have to be standing here doing everything double time because the system can't recognise it. And in the end, as I say, I just had to like take a step back, and my partner was like, I'll do it, and I'll just, don't moan if the machines can't handle the work because you haven't got the people on hand to be scanning them for me. But yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, I don't think there needs to be all of this robotic automated stuff within the shops. I understand moving forward, like say for example, so as we all know, Mama G does my returns. I'll do whatever and she kind of does my returns when I'm at work. I went into Blue Water a couple of weeks ago and I'd had an order sent there from New Look. Now New Look used to be no problem, you'd get out your paper receipt, la-di-da-da. When I was there, I thought, my partner said, quickly try the bits on that you've got, and then if they don't fit, at least like you can deal with it here. So I saw the bits in the store, tried them on, they weren't for me. So I went back around and I said, oh, I've just picked these up, I've tried them on over there, they're not a bit of me. And she was like, oh, have you got your QR code? I was like, I was like, oh no, hold on, let me open the bag. I was looking for the bit of paper, and there was a bit of paper and it was like, please scan a QR code. And I'm like, oh no, normally like I just give them and they think. She said, no, you have to do a QR code now. So I scan this code, and then it's like enter your order details and enter your name and what items and all that. And it took about 5 minutes to actually like go through this thing, and then you get this extra code at the end, they scan it and it automates. And I thought, me not knowing that, I would have said to Mum, I'll take them back for us. My mum doesn't have a smartphone. She wouldn't know the first thing how to do that return. And I said to my partner, I said, that's actually put me off of New Look now. Just purely because if you do get something and it's not quite to your thing, I'm going to have to take that back myself. And that's not me saying, oh, I've got to take it back myself. But there's not like, if you don't have a smartphone, you see mum's phone, it's the tiny little Nokia from like the 1950s. If you don't have that, what are you supposed to do? Are they just going to say, no, sorry, can't refund it? That's where I think you'd have to get like maybe a staff phone, like if they have a works phone, and scan and put your details and do it like that way, because then you can't discriminate against people because if they don't have a smartphone. But yeah, that threw me. So this whole thing of like moving with the times, I completely get that. But I do believe that shops should have people. As I say, like, I loved being in my retail job, and to think, could you have like machines doing that? Absolutely not. And I will watch TIM or Tim on Netflix, thank you very much. Right, one of my lovelies. Oh, this is gonna be a long one. I love it. It's funny, as we were talking about this the other day, George Orwell wrote a book in 1949 called 1984, and most of what he wrote has happened. Was he a little bit psychic, George Orwell? Google more often than not comes up with whatever you're going to ask before you've typed anything in. I noticed that when I get sent location from anyone, it started to show a picture of where their car is parked and the people around faces are blanked out. Yes, so if you go on to say like Google Earth and type in a thing, the faces will be blurred out. But the thing with Google Earth, I think they're supposed to update it yearly. I have never, when I've like had to go on to find addresses or anything, I've never seen anything pre like 2012, 2013. So I don't quite know what this Google Earth is doing, because apparently they like take photos, but no, it's not working. So yeah, I don't the location thing, when it's like, I get it at the moment with, say for example, if I forget my iPad or laptop, if I'm not editing at work, it will come up to me on my phone, device left behind, like please ensure your device is at this address, which I do think is good for a safety thing. Like say if I was at one of my friends and I come back and I thought, what's that? And then it's like device left behind, you're like, oh damn it, I've left it there. But yeah, it does, it's like, you have left a device behind. I'm like, yes, I know, I'm having an editing free day. So, self-checkout, bloody hate them. In fact, our Matalan has got rid of them. Wow, I feel like my store needs to get rid of them because they are just carnage. We have cameras around the outside of our house, and others have Ring doorbells because it makes us feel safe. One of mine was here when a parcel was being delivered to hers. She was talking to him here from her phone through the doorbell. I've had to learn about technology at 62, just the basics. Had to get used to not using cash like I used to, and it's not right, as there are people who can't use these things. Lots of love. Lots of love too. And the cash thing, this is another reason why I'm so glad that my nan's not alive, because she only ever dealt in cash, and the only card she had was her bank card. Like, she didn't deal in credit cards or anything like that. And I don't think stores can actually discriminate you for using cash. Like, I don't think a store can actually refuse you. Like, they can't say, no, sorry, we don't take cash, because cash is a tender, or is it called like a tender of money? It's a form of currency. Like, you should be able to use it. But I know that, like, it seems to be trying to move forward, like this whole cryptocurrency. What's this? It's my pumpkin vlog tonight, guys, and you're all leaving me your comments, eh? This whole cryptocurrency, like, I have never looked into that, to be perfectly honest, and I don't feel I want to. I just think, again, that's a very grey area of what can happen, like within stock shares. Like, it can go up, it can go down, like it can be quite disastrous. So yeah, I'm one of these, like, I never use cash. See, I'm the opposite. I very rarely have cash. Sorry guys, I've got a real bad irritation on my eyelash this past week, and I don't know what it is. There's nothing on there. I don't know if like a little bit of glue has gone underneath, but it's blooming annoying, let me tell you that. I don't carry cash, and if I do, it might be like £10–20 max, or it would just be a little bit of change for car parks. But I do think for the older generation, it is the other way around. They are more likely to use cash than card, and we can't discriminate at all. Like, my nan, she'll go out, she'll have cash, she'll have her card. Like, she's quite savvy with things like that and technology, so that's good for her. But as I say, some elderly people aren't, and it's just, yeah, you can't like discriminate against. I don't like that at all. Right, with regards to the cameras around the house or Ring doorbells, see, I, for one, I don't think when I move, I will get a Ring doorbell. I don't like the feeling of, or I don't like the thought of being able to talk to someone, like, through the doorbell, if you get what I mean, because then I think, well, people know you're not in. And then they could think, oh, well, we could come back. Whereas if you have the cameras around the house, okay, they might think, oh, you're not in, but you're not interacting. You're not actually telling them you're not in. Like, you could be upstairs asleep. You could be in the garden or whatever. So I think when I move out, I would be more inclined to have the cameras around the house like yourself, as opposed to a Ring doorbell. I was thinking of getting Mum a Ring doorbell, but she was like, I don't know how to use it. I was like, no, not for her, maybe like more for me. But she said she wouldn't mind just like a few little cameras on her windowsill. So I think that's definitely something I'm going to look into. Just like a little ball camera that can sit on the windowsills and look at, because that way it's still the same bits and bobs. And I was thinking maybe just having one on the hallway table, like looking towards the door in case. But yeah, she don't like the Ring doorbells, and I don't know, I'm not one, but I think that that's so common now. And as I say, oh goodness gracious, they always call, don't they? And it's gonna be a blooming spam call. What is the time? It is 8:20 on an evening. Oh my goodness. It must, I hope that it's Magic FM. Magic Make Me a Winner. Because I've been doing that nearly every day this week and I've not had them call me. Probably spent a fortune trying to make me a winner, and I've not. I've just made myself a loser. But you have to be in it to win it, eh, guys? But yeah, I completely agree. I think Ring doorbells, they are good because, as I say, nearly everyone in the streets has them now. So if anything was to happen, you're pretty much going to be caught, unfortunately, because everyone has a Ring doorbell or some form of a security camera nowadays. But I personally, I would think I would go for more the security camera. Yeah, I think that's just me. George Orwell. He must have been a psychic sixth sense if half of what he said has actually come true. And yeah, with the Google Earth, I just think, oh, it does make me laugh though. However, what is, like, you think, where else are the cameras? Like down south, Yules. I'm not even getting into Yules because that could be a whole nother debate. I mean, Yules could be a whole scandal episode on its own, but there's no need for it. And the ones down in like our areas are getting vandalised. People are ripping them down. People are spray painting over them. People are putting boxes over them. It's going to areas where it doesn't need to. Like, I think it's stretched out to Kent now. Kent is not part of London. Like, it just really baffles me. Like, me for London is like where you have to get a tube into. And I just think, like, I wouldn't class my area as London. And I just think, why? Like, people are having to change their cars for this Yules. Like, and if you haven't got the funds to get a new car, like, what are you supposed to do? £12.50 each way, I think, isn't it? Out and in. That could be £25 a day for someone just trying to travel to work. No, I'm not a fan of it at all, my lovelies. Let's have a look. Oh, what have I done here? One of my lovelies says, I work in a supermarket, so I get it to be more like self-checkouts. Most people don't like it, however, but it's the world we live in. I am so thankful that you still have a job, and I love that. And as I say, I would definitely push to keep the checkouts. When you go to a supermarket, you need to speak to people. You need to have that, like, interaction with people and that laugh and, hi, how you doing, having your little chit-chat. No one wants to go and just be beep, beep. There's no interaction. You might as well get online delivery. So, no, I don't like that either, my lovelies. Right, let's have a look. I love this. One of my lovelies says, hi, Shannon. Firstly, I hope you're having a fantastic holiday. You deserve it, girl. Thank you. As you can tell, I haven't checked because when these come through for like Q&As now, I literally screenshot and then put them because I don't like to sit and read them because I like to give you guys first reactions. They say, I'm glad you've chosen this topic this month because I've said for years that robots will take over and family and friends laugh at me thinking I mean we'll end up in a war with them like in the Terminator film. Great set of series, by the way. I don't mean that. I mean that they will soon be doing everything. Like you see the film, like I always remember the film like I, Robot. And then you see some things, I think Elon Musk is like creating robots or is in like a robot factory. I don't quite know. And you just think, what else could be done? Like, what else actually could be done? But when you get into thinking it further and actually think of the knock-on effects it will have, it's actually scary. Just think how many people will suddenly become unemployed. And what if these people don't have qualifications to actually do anything else? This is what I mean. So by taking people out of retail, those people still have to work. What else are you going to put them in if you're basically killing off the retail industry to cover it with robots? These people will not be able to pay bills, rent, mortgage, food, etc., and it will probably lead to a worldwide homeless crisis. That is a thing. I think that they're not looking at the bigger effect. They look at it like, oh, we're saving the economy and we're moving forward with the times. Squeaky chair is back, guys. Squeaky chair. Actually, I felt like that was going to actually just crack on me. Maybe we won't do that. But yes, they think, oh, we're saving money, like we're cutting all these wages. But no, these people still have lives. These people still have homes to feed and families. Or even if they don't, they still have themselves to look after. And it shouldn't be the government thinking that they're doing better for the whole population. Because you have to think of the people that you have here. And you have to think like, are they actually going to be able to survive if we take on like a worldwide domination of self-serve checkouts? I think it's actually like ridiculous. Kids will be in poverty more because parents don't have the means to feed them. Would this lead to an increase in crime? Again, the bigger picture, the knock-on effect. Then you have to think of the sheer increase of people claiming benefits. Would our country cope with having to pay billions and billions of people on benefits who lose their jobs? We could lose the government, which might not be a bad thing, but we have a government for a reason, and it's the same with our royal family. Would they cope with the chaos and actually do anything? Like, this is the thing, it's the bigger picture. I don't think we need robots worldwide. I think they're fine in some aspects and like some of the things are very beneficiary. But I think when it takes people out of jobs and it stops people earning an income, that's something, no, I don't agree with that. I'm sorry if it was a big rant, but people laugh at me and it could really be our reality sooner than we think. Did you know that robotic cars are being made where you don't actually have to drive? You can sit back and it drives itself, which doesn't sound safe at all. But if they are proven to be safe, then think how many taxi drivers will be plunged into employment. Now, I've seen these cars that self-drive and I've seen accidents where it doesn't register a certain thing and then has a malfunction. I took a driving test for a reason, to drive. I have a driving license to drive. I don't need a car to drive for me. Okay? I don't trust a car to drive for me. And again, thinking of people who use transport as their role. Taxis. It could be like lorry drivers, like the Eddie Stobart lorries. Who's going to do the transportation if a robot's going to do it? Are you actually going to let a computer be in control of that? Absolutely no. I'm really hoping that it's many, many, many years away and governments and big companies will see the chaos that it could bring. Anyway, rant over, haha. Enjoy your holiday, Shannon, and I hope Mama G's managing without you. She loved it. And I can't wait for all your autumn Halloween content. Lots of love. Thank you very much, my lovely. I am so with you there. Everything you said there, I agree 100%. I don't think I will see it in my generation. I feel like it could be a couple of generations down the line. But if it's anything like the films to how we're going to be, it could be scary, guys. It could actually be scary. And then the last few here, it's scary when you talk about something and the next it's coming up as an ad on Facebook or Instagram. I'm telling you now, the phones are bugged. That is one thing I stand by. There is too much speaking around to then type in something and it pop up. That is freaky, and that to me, I'm like, no data is safe. No information is safe what we search on our phones. And again, the last one, my lovelies, no to less checkouts. I feel for the older generation, it's getting too much for them. It is. It genuinely is. Like, you see sometimes elderly people trying to use the self-serve, and I just feel like, no. Like, you shouldn't be made to force, like, you're being forced to deal with this, and that's not right. That's not right at all. And me and Spooky, well, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. You might not even have someone to point me in the direction to show me where you are to sell me you. Sell me to you, sell you to me. Because if not, I never would have found you. If it wasn't for the lovely retail lady. Sorry guys, it weren't actually the memory card this time. My battery died on me. But I think I was just saying how if there wasn't retail workers, we wouldn't have you. And I think that is the whole purpose of retail. Like, I love going in and just having a chit chat with someone. I get that online shopping and that is more convenient. You can do it at your own leisure, but it's taking people out of jobs. And as I say, what's the next thing? You're going to have robots making drinks, which I have seen. I have seen a robot make a drink on a cruise ship. Are you going to have them now becoming chefs? Are we just going to put the whole... If all of these sectors are going to start becoming robotic, what is there actually going to be for people to do? How are people going to survive? And as like one of you lovely said, is it then going to cause a rise in unemployment? Are people on benefits? How is the government going to cope with that? How is the world going to cope with unemployment to that scale if every single profession has been taken over by robots? God, I could sit here all night, guys. But I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed it. I've just sat here cuddling this most of it, haven't I? Yeah, I have. We're just going to call you Spooky, I think. It was either that or Cuddly. But I think Spooky. You're spooky but cuddly. So soft. I mean, I haven't got any makeup on now. I could literally just fall asleep on him. Oh, no, you need to go back in your place. But guys, if you did enjoy the video, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below. And as I say, leave us a comment. Any other scandals or conspiracies that you want me to have a little look over. As I say, next month is November. We're in Christmas. Are there any scandals or conspiracies around Christmas time, apparently? Is there anything that we think, that's not right? Is mince pie really a mince pie because it doesn't have mince in it? Oh my God, we could get in a whole debacle here. Let me know down below, as I say, if you want to reach out privately. My Instagram and my emails are always down there, okay, guys? But take care, stay safe as always, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.